All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. First thing we need to do is approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Was that Casey?
Me.
Jill and Curtis. Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Ryan Ruda and Ryan Schravogel. Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, recognitions.
I've been talking about this for, this is my, what, 20th month, 21st year or whatever in being administration. Previous to becoming administrator, I had no idea what took place during the summer. No idea whatsoever. You know, we'd leave in May and we'd come back in August and magically everything is ready to roll. So I want to officially recognize the good hard work of the people who work throughout the summer. And so all of our directors have had a very aggressive and busy summer, and we are ready to roll. I mean, the facilities look good. It's just a matter of getting the kids here. So I appreciate all you guys' efforts.
Thank you, guys. All right, financials, Mike.
Okay, I'll just point out on page 2 of the warrants, High Plains Co-op, our first assessment payment to them, $93,992.25. And then down below that's Iron Insurance for the insurance you guys approved, $184,504. So the warrants for this month is $515,184.38 on page 4. So you take those two things out, and it's right around $300,000, which is normal for us.
Where we like to be, yeah.
Yeah. And then page 8, our cash balances are okay, for this time of year. And then page 8 is our budget for now, but we're still in the process of working through that to update all that information. And then behind that's the high school, middle school reports. So if you have any questions.
There are no questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve the financials for $515,184.38.
So move.
Second.
Curtis and Jill. Moved and seconded to approve the financials. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, no public patron concerns, so we'll move to administrative reports and Dr. Myers.
All right, you have in front of you the back-to-school time schedule, if you will. I would like to point out specifically a couple little things. The new teacher induction day is Wednesday. It's coming up. You guys are invited to every last one of these things. If you make it, come on in. If nothing else, we start off about 8 o'clock with introductions and spend the morning doing things. But then over at Wiley will be lunch. So if you want to grab a lunch and meet the new teachers, their mentors, the principals, all God's children will be there. You're welcome to come on in. On Thursday is the cookout barbecue over at the swimming pool. Sean et al. Will be there, making sure we're ready to roll. Friday, district work day. That means lots of meetings taking place within the district. Monday is the convocation. That is, really the official launch of the school year. It starts off at the high school auditorium, and then heads from there into afternoon work with the different folk. We are specifically having, though, some presenters come to us. A suicide prevention speaker will be here. Then United Way will have a little bit of time, and then we're redoing the Run, Hide, Fight training. We've done that for the 5 years I've been here, and it's just a refresher. Later on, the principals will be working with Steve Martinez to come into their buildings to actually run more of a drill, if you will. So it's in their buildings so they know where to go and what to do. Unfortunate needs of today. Then move to Tuesdays, just professional learning taking place in all the buildings. Wednesday's a work day, and it all leads up to Thursday, which is the first day of school, half day in the morning with the kids, and then they go home at noon. So that's the back to school time. And once again, you're all welcome to join in and hear all of it that you'd like to. Couple things, something else to talk to you about. If you recall back months ago, Dr. Ruda and I had gone over and presented information to the state Spark group, made a request on that. Our ask was $900,000 to create the CTE concession stand bathroom building. They were supposed to have heard by April what was going on with that. Nothing, just crickets, nothing. So I reached out to Lana Duval, who actually sits on the committee, 3 weeks ago, and she said, well, nothing's been said whatsoever. We're waiting until after the primaries. All right, the primaries just passed. So hopefully there'll be news. But I asked her, I said, is it dead? Are we dead? No, she said, no, you're not dead. It's not a done deal yet. So who knows? Hope springs eternal. Sam, come on up, please. While he's doing that, talk about the Garden City Community College grant that I received a nice letter from Dr. Ryan Ruda. As one of the participating districts, they received $1 million grant from the federal government, I think. Basically, it upgrades 2 classrooms in all their satellite places like we are. Makes them Zoom-ready, technology, audio and visual, and TV monitors. Plus, it has a laptop loaning program, first come, first serve. Just a matter of time, I'm assuming that Ryan's people will talk to our people, and we will upgrade these rooms, free of charge to us. So we really appreciate that. Last thing I want to talk about, then I'm going to talk with Sam here. The KASB annual conference is coming up. It's November 11 through 13, and they're actually doing it in Wichita. So if you would look at your schedules, if you'd like to go, I'd love for you to go along. It is good. Usually have good individual sessions and whatnot, but minimally by attending there, it takes care of our requirement for annual training for negotiations. So that's the 11th to the 13th of November, some point in time the next week or two. Robin and I will start really bugging you saying, hey, do you want to go? Do you want to go? Do you want to go? All right, I asked Sam to come forward because now it has become even more of a severe challenge for us within transportation. Just Friday, 2 more people decided to move on to other opportunities. So as we speak, and if you look at Sam's report, it's not been updated because at that time, that number was bigger than what we have currently. What we're facing at this point is we have a grand total of 4 people to drive with CDLs. So we're looking at options here. Of course, and to grow CDLs, and this isn't brand new work. We've been working on this for months and months. Even if somebody came forward right now, if Amy says, I want to do it, the fastest she could be in the bus is like 30 days from now. So that doesn't help us for the beginning of the school year. Now, we need to keep playing that game and see what we can do. But in the meantime, trying to get past, Sam and I are working with this, and the admin team's going to dig in deeper tomorrow. We came up with the idea of having people drive vans up north because there's, I don't know, how many total kids up north, Sam? 15 to 20?
20.
Okay. If we send 3 vans up that way to do that, that frees up the 3 bus drivers who were going to be going up there. And it's faster too. So then if we can find the people who are willing to participate, they get paid $15.28 an hour for about 3 hours a day. If they happen to be our employees, this will kick them into overtime, which then puts the price to about 22 something. That's a pretty good wage, just drive a van. So if this could work, if it works, how many people reached out to you today, Sam?
I had 2 calls.
You did? Well, fantastic. Hire them. Sold. In order to make this work, we need like 6 people is what we need because of the, people get sick, things happen, just as. So the idea would be, if we can find 3 people, really 6, we'd run the northern routes with vans. That would allow us 4 routes down here, and we can just go on. School goes on. That's what it takes to run the routes south of the railroad track and north of the railroad track. If those numbers don't come around, we're looking at double routing, the north and in town. So northern people would drop off and come by. Now we're starting to talk about time. What time we'd have to leave the bus barn to get there and get it going. And one of these things, and this is where I engaged with the elementary principals, in order to do that, our 2 choices are deliver kids way early or get kids to school way late. If you only have X number of drivers doing the job. And so one of those ideas we're going to kick around and cuss and say that won't work is drop kids off as early as 7 o'clock in the morning, and then we can run the in-town routes. Or we don't do that. We run the normal times, and then we get the kids from in-town to school at 8:15 when school starts at 7:45. That's not a winner either. None of these are winners. Looking for lesser of all evils. One other choice is only run the northern routes and south of the railroad tracks, and that's it. Or not even do that. Fully well knowing, if the fewer buses that we send out in town, the greater the congestion will be over in the elementary during the drop-off pickup, which is already horrific as far as I'm concerned. So at this moment, our greatest hope, in my opinion, is we find people willing to drive the vans. And like I said, once we really start recruiting it and our hourly people understand that you'll probably get overtime on this, it's a pretty good wage. So, Sam, anything to add?
No,
Well, thank you.
not anything positive anyway.
Well, and we're set up for all the pieces that we can take care of. We can do it in-house as defensive driving. Sam can do that. We take care of CPR or first aid, and Sam is now signed up to do the EDTL instruction, early driver teaching, whatever license.
ELDT.
Yeah, thank you. So all those aspects, but we still have to have somebody come forward and say, I want to be a bus driver. And we've been looking for, I don't know how long, and it's just,
And the state gets their cut after this deal. Every driver we hire is gonna cost the district $200, at least.
right, the additional testing for
Yeah.
that ED thing. Those are the rules, though, so we'll play them. Long term, we need more drivers. So we're not, if we end up dealing the cards and use the vans, that is not the long-term fix. Because we also have need and use of those vans just because, we take trips, we do things. And that would take 3 vehicles out of the rotation if we end up doing it that way.
I have reached out to Garden City, and they're in the same boat. They have nobody. Usually they'll help me out if they can, but
Hey, Dr. Myers, what about some sort of bus drop-off, like 1 or 2 south of town, maybe 1 north of the tracks?
I mean, just a general,
Yeah,
like,
just,
Grand Terminal
everybody
Station.
congregates here, the bus comes by, picks them up.
That's something to look, we've not looked at that.
we could entertain that idea. I mean, right off the top of my head, I'm thinking parents aren't gonna show up. And it's all right for kids, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, but when you got preschoolers, you can't just drive off and leave them standing there. Or kindergartners even, some 1st graders.
Just trying to think outside.
Oh, yeah, no, we need
Not
to,
in, not.
we need to
not
throw
in
all the
today's
spaghetti on the wall and see what
anyway.
sticks.
Engel still does it over there at the racetrack. That's where they drop them off at, pick them up.
I was gonna say, north of town, I don't know, yeah. You said there's about 15, 20 kids that go north farther?
Yeah, it's 20 plus. After we started talking about that, I kind of threw together some small numbers, and it would take about 3 vehicles minimum.
And so once again, in order for us to be prepared for the rainy day, we need more than 3 drivers. We need multiple
Yeah.
people. And there's other little things we gotta worry about. If it becomes a set schedule, then suddenly, they have to have CPR and defensive driving. But, okay, we can do that. We can take care of that in-house. It just avoids the CDL. I think, once again, long-term, the answer is finding more bus drivers. But people are not breaking down the doors at this point and saying, I want to do that. In fact, I saw a sign, I think it's in Topeka, literally, it said, having problem with daycare? Become a bus driver. So they're trying to sell the concept that you're a bus driver, then you can keep your kid on the bus with you. Okay, yeah, we could do that. So it's such a weird, funky, split shift. It doesn't fit into everybody's life. Work for a couple hours in the morning and a couple hours in the evening. We're not fully staffed. We've got activity drivers at this point, but we don't want to lose any more of them either. And individual people say they'd rather not drive routes for us. And we talk to them, we ask them.
Yeah.
So it's not like we said, oh, let's not try that strategy. So,
I've talked to all the people that have left in the past and just asking them what it would take to get them to come back, and I haven't gotten any reasonable responses.
so we are in the process of marketing. I think the quickest way forward is through find people who just be willing to drive the vans, operationalize that, and then we'll find those people, and then keep our efforts going to create CDL licensed people. So, thank you, Sam. That's my report. Kick that dead dog longer.
Thank you. All right. Buildings, Tom. Okay. Grounds? Lance? Okay. Do we need to do transportation again since we've already covered transportation? Okay. Food
You didn't
service?
find drivers all of a sudden?
Monica?
I do want to point out, though, that was one of our other little bottleneck areas was food service in Monica's report. We'll start the school year fully staffed. Way to be, Monica.
Hey, Monica.
My recommendation to her is hire extra people. Just have them as subs, bring them in, whatever. Maybe they want to drive a van. You know, so whatever it is we can do. So,
Yep.
okay.
Mr. Ackerman? Nothing further. Okay. Principals? Let's start with Amy.
So we have started the enrollment process, and as of right now at Wiley, we have 248 students enrolled. From the students that we had last year that we're hoping to expect again this year, we're still missing about 41 of those, and hopefully we'll get some new ones for preschool and kindergarten as well. I am starting the school year fully staffed at Wiley, so I'm thrilled about that. Excited to have Allison Calderon join us for first grade and Socorro Reyes join us in second grade. Jacqueline Castillo is our new counselor, and Martika Crockett will also be joining Wiley staff as the social emotional art. So we're excited to have those join us. We're ready to go. We have some good professional development planned for the beginning of the year, starting on Friday with our first staff meeting. We also will have some more Amplify training, which is our new ELA curriculum. That will be on Tuesday morning. We just finished up another session August 1st with Amplify over M-Class, which is the intervention tool that program offers as well. We're excited to have Gayla Lofink join us again this year throughout the school year, and she's going to kick off the year with our paras and give them some additional support and training, which is something that's really never been offered. So we're excited about that and hopefully get some of their questions answered and help them do some more individualized learning with our students. So we're excited to have her join us too.
All right. Thank you, Amy. Randy?
Well, this will be pretty easy. Ditto. So most of the things that she mentioned are also things that are going on at Holcomb Elementary School. I'll just elaborate a little bit on Mrs. Crockett's new position. We're really excited for that. We've been preparing those spaces in both of the elementary schools to have a space where kids can explore, you know, that creative side, and tying that into also the Character Strong curriculum that the counselors have. So we look forward to that partnership between the counselors and Mrs. Crockett. And then the other thing that I was going to elaborate on a little bit more was just our Amplify training. We're pretty excited about that. At both levels, we're just going to be expanding a little bit on the planning, how you go through and plan these lessons. This is a knowledge building resource, and so it will look a little bit different than some of the other resources that we've used in the past that are more of a balanced literacy approach. So, you know, we're fortunate that we were able to do the initial training at the end of last year, and this year we're going to be able to dig in a little bit. So the teachers will have some of that support as they get started to feel comfortable with their planning. So we're really looking forward to that.
All right. Thank you. Tyler?
Three things. First, it was nice to meet Officer Shelton today, our new school resource officer for our buildings. He was in today and getting familiar with the buildings. Really excited to have him. Excited for some positive things that we can do with students with him. So we got to talk a little bit about that today, and excited to build his schedule over the coming days. Second thing is at the middle school, we are short-staffed as well on the classified side. We have 2 para positions open. And if you count High Plains, we have 4. So I'm some concerns with meeting some of our students with high needs, so we're going to be creative with schedules going into that. I've tried to recruit at the restaurant this weekend. Waitress wasn't real happy with her job, so I left her a note on a napkin, left her my number for different reasons, and usually when you leave a number for him, she hasn't called me back, but whatever. So I'm trying. So got some concerns there, but our staff is awesome at being flexible, and we'll make it work, but we need more people. And the third thing, just a reminder about Parent University. That's next Tuesday from 5 to 8. The 5 to 6 time will be a normal come and go open house. Get your locker combinations, try it out, meet the teachers. There'll be a free meal. Walking tacos, I think, is what we're doing. And then 6 to 8, there will be, food will still be there, and you can still go around and see classes, but there will also be some sessions that teachers are offering, learn more about our school, learn about our data, learn about where we are and where we're trying to get. So I'm looking forward to that, and hope families listening will be there. Thanks.
Thanks, Tyler. All right, Jerry. Creative recruitment.
It feels a lot better coming this year than it did last time this year. I was freaking out last year about this time, not knowing if I should have made that right decision to take the job or not, but this year feels a lot better. We had a staff BLT retreat that we just got back from Wichita where our building leadership team went up. We set our vision for this upcoming year. They came up with some really good goals that we can track some data as far as what we want to do culture-wise and academic-wise. So we had a really good meeting. Our staff is really fired up about coming into the new year with a focus. So I'm excited for that. Not a whole lot to say yet because we haven't really been back into buildings as far as staff and but we're getting ready to roll. Yeah, we just sent an alert now out today with all the different things that are coming up in the next 2 weeks, and it's a long list. And so we're about that time. It's exciting. It's exciting to get the students back. You start to see some of them start to come back in and enroll, and you get to talk to them, and it reminds you of why you got into education. You get to start to see the kids again. So I'm pumped. I'm ready to go, and I think our staff is too. So
Thanks, Jerry. All right. Unfinished business and tour of barn.
All righty, here in just a moment, after I finish talking, we'll adjourn to the meeting's still going on, move to the barn so we can wander through it. Tom, if you can get up there and unlock it, get in there, yeah, sure. Board members, no more than 3 people together in the same vehicle. Otherwise, you're breaking Open Meetings Act. Don't do that. Ride with a friend, maybe 2 friends, not with 3 friends. Then we'll go take a tour of the barn. I think you'll be pleased with the results. I'm not a barn guy, but I've had several barn people say, "Man, this is really nice." So it's put together real well. I do think, I laugh, but I do want to give Tom kudos for shepherding this thing through, speaking that language with the manufacturers. There's one little piece that re-broke their little piece of concrete. You'll see it, but they're supposed to be here this week to get it done. So there will be no actions upon the tour. Then we'll come back and get back into the agenda proper. Okay?
All right.
gracias.
All right, we are back in session.
I have some questions.
Okay.
We getting water leaks in any of the buildings?
As far as what, roof leaks?
Yep.
Yes.
How many?
I think there's 2 at the high school and 2 at the middle school.
What about Wiley? You get the gym fixed in that?
Supposedly, yes.
We had a goalie washer rain. Did anybody check the gymnasium?
I have not been in there, no. I've been too busy to walk around in there today.
Okay. 'Cause I know last year
Monday.
I was in that gym and it was raining outside and it was coming down the wall like a
Right.
waterfall.
My maintenance guy got up there and we did a bunch of caulking. We haven't been in there to check it since, no.
All of them. What about this school? Did it have any leaks?
I don't think it does, as far as I know. I
All
think
the
we took
windows
care of
opening
them.
up?
Not all of them, no. You
Okay.
can't get parts for half of them.
We can't get window
And the
parts for them?
Right. The old
Why
ones,
can't we get window parts?
they're old Anderson windows, they don't make them anymore.
Look at fixing some of the windows in the schools, cause it's, we're getting cracks and stuff like that, we ought to get them fixed.
That it? Okay.
Thanks, Tom. All right, let's move to building needs assessment summary budget response.
Okay, this is new stuff, required by law. I did a preliminary piece of this a month ago, and the results were, the rave reviews were in like best 20 minutes of my life. I can't wait for the next time we hear this information. So bringing it back. The new law says, in order for the board to set a budget ultimately, we have to take into account information, okay? And this is all about having 100% of our students who take the Kansas State assessments up to levels 3 and 4. That's what this is about. That's what the goal is, which is, in my opinion, an asinine goal. And I want that in the minutes, because by virtue of having special needs students, it's nonsensical to believe that we can get all of our students into levels 3 and 4. And we're not alone in this. I've voiced that opinion, anybody will listen. But that's our goal. That's what we're shooting for. So the process is the individual buildings conducted a building needs assessment, which all those will be posted on our website, because all this has to be posted on our website, okay? Principals did a very fine job with this, engaged with their BLTs, and then while we were away on leadership retreat, we culled the information together, and that's what I'll be sharing with you tonight. The district response to the building needs assessments, all in the efforts to get all of our students to levels 3 and 4. The 3 items that have to be front and forward and present across the board on all this stuff are the barriers that we defined, the common barriers, potential budgetary adjustments that could be made to address those barriers, and then the timeline that we believe in order to reach those goals of 100% of our students being at levels 3 and 4. You have before you, this is the same information I provided with you a month ago. This is the testing data from 2021 on the Kansas State assessment data. What's represented here are levels 1 and 2. So we need to get all these people, all these students, into levels 3 and 4 in X amount of time. Another piece of this that is technical, but I'll talk about it just a little bit, that raises my chagrin, is we in Kansas have 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2, by the state of Kansas, has anointed, that's college and career ready. It's okay. That's where you want to be. It's okay to be at level 2. Not according to this work. Legislature came along and said, no, it has to be at level 3. Even though KSDE and the federal government have accepted the fact that level 2 means you're on track. Doesn't matter, okay? So the idea is we have to get them all to level 3s and 4s. So you have that data that shows the results from 2021. We are utilizing 2021 data because the 21-22 data has not been scrubbed by the state of Kansas yet. We won't have that till October. This whole process has to be done before then. And so we're always going to be a year in arrears. Looking at the data for 21-22, actually looks better. We've made grounds in certain areas. But I'm not going to officially show that to you until we know it's official. So if it gets approved in October, it'll probably be November before I actually show that report to you. So anyway, on the pertinent information for you, and this is like I said, came from a great amount of work. The common barriers found across the board, the article, the document you're looking for is USD 363 Board of Education Budgetary Considerations 22-23. Common barriers, severe needs of students in special populations, including special education, ELL, migrant, homeless, and then students experiencing trauma. By virtue of any one of those bullets existing means individual students have traits or have shown the need to be in one of these special groups. So, and by virtue of that happening, already we have plans to try to get them up to speed, but literally, I mean, if you have an individual kid who does not speak English, the way the law is written now, you have 1 year to get them to where they can take that test fluently. Now, I'm sure everybody in this room can do this better than I can, but I'm going to drop you down in Bulgaria and say, learn that language. And a year from now, you're going to take the test. That's what we're being forced to do. So those are special needs populations. We've got plans to work with every last one of these types of students, if you will. People are experiencing these different realities. And then, of course, the students experiencing trauma, we don't literally know when a fire is going to happen, or a car wreck, or a divorce, or a whatever. And that does have an impact on our people. Another barrier, special education is not fully funded by the state. They just don't fund it. It's called excess cost for some odd reason. And right now they're funding it at like 76% or something like that. And what's frustrating about that is the money's there. You know, we have right now a huge largesse of a budget at the state of Kansas, but they're choosing not to send that money to fully fund special ed. Chronic absenteeism, that means a student misses more than 10% of the year. They become known as chronically absent. And there are all sorts of research and studies that show if you're not here, you're just not going to get it. You know, absenteeism matters, and so that's an issue for us. Mobility of students or families, just the fact that people do move. Not very, I don't know, I mean, Matt, you tell me, back when you came here, you're a kindergartner, how many of your classmates graduated with you? I mean, from what percentage?
Probably 90%.
Yeah, it's not happening now because we are just more transitory, more migratory. People move around. And there are whole special rules for migrant kids and homeless kids where it just doesn't mesh with what they're trying to have us do here. Lack of just people who are fully licensed and finding quality, you know, people who want to come work with our people. So even though we could throw a ton of money at things, if we had a ton of money, we're still trying to find somebody to fill the gap is not a la bus drivers, you know. And then lack of expert professional learning supports in close proximity. The idea behind that, yeah, we can zoom in on things, but it's more the seeing is believing. And our approach to that is, you know, Gayla's coming in to help us in certain areas. We send teachers out to go watch individual buildings. We kind of find these, you know, shining stars and go learn, you know, from the craft knowledge. So those are the barriers, common barriers that showed up in the principal's building needs assessment. So what do we do about it? Here are some possible budgetary responses for the board to consider. So next month when we set the budget, you can say, oh, what about that? One is provide specialized professional learning, instructional strategies, particularly MTSS. We've launched that effort. In fact, just last Friday, we had our second full day work with the Kansas MTSS group with the district leadership team. It'll take the better part of the year to get this in place, but it's hugely important to spend that time on the foundation of what multi-tier system of supports are and how we go about it. Basically, it's a systemic approach to addressing individual needs of kids. That's what it is. You boil it all down. But there are 85 different moving parts. Hire additional staff to lower the teacher caseload. Okay? That's a great idea, if we can find them.
I like that one.
And they have to drive a bus. Hire people to work to catch up chronically absent students. So, you know, actually work with them one-on-one. Hire a social worker to work with families experiencing generational poverty and or trauma. hire a director of instructional services to provide instructional leadership to the staff and to free up time for the principals to focus on the learning loss of the students. Now, all of these items would be funded by ESSER 3 money. But if we do not receive the extension, which Sean said has some information that the state of Kansas might not be pursuing that. I sure hope that's wrong, but I trust what Sean told me. That's 2 years worth of money is what we have left with ESSER 3 money. So all these different things, we could do these. In fact, we're doing the professional learning because we have plenty of money sitting there. But I honestly don't know that we can find a social worker. I just don't know. We won't know if we don't try. So we'll address that. Anticipated time to achieve the goal, what we're going to officially report is 8 to 10 years. The Scott answer, not the superintendent answer, but the Scott answer is infinity plus 1. But we will report 8 to 10 years because that's almost a generation of kids, K through 12 gives us a chance to hone in, and hopefully we will get better and better at what we're doing. It's just you're betting against the house, and that roulette wheel has a green spot on it too. It's not just red and black. So the house is going to win. Basically, they've built the perfect mousetrap now by definition to say, we've given you all this money, you're not getting results. And my attitude is they're choosing the wrong metric, state assessments, and it totally disregards the needs of our special populations. So, but we are fulfilling the obligations of the law. Robin is getting all those into our minutes, which will be posted. Then, ostensibly, during the hearing, in September, we do the R&R hearing, then we do the budget hearing. This will come back up again. Maybe not fully fleshed out as much as this, but it will be discussed again. So, what questions may I answer for you?
So let's say tomorrow a social worker calls you and we decide to hire her. So we'll have ESSER money for 2 years to cover her salary, and then after that it's...
That's correct. And
Yes.
and everybody who we've brought in under our ESSER dollars, we've been very upfront and clear with them. This is a finite amount of time, but the hope is that we prove the absolute need for those positions so it gets baked into our DNA. I mean, that's the idea of it. Now, Matt, it's not as easy as what you just said. In order to utilize those monies, right now, I do not have approval to hire a social worker. So Mike and I have been talking about you have to go in and resubmit, and now I don't think that they can deny what already has been approved, but it's kind of like, trust me, I'm with the government. So when we open it back up and send it in, very carefully say we want to keep everything in force that we have, but we're wanting to add this. Mm-hmm. But yes, you nailed it, Matt. It's a 2-year gig for the money, for that revenue source.
So what are they intending or hoping that within 2 years they will see progress being made to be able to justify when ESSER runs out that?
Are you asking what the federal government, the state of Kansas, or USD 360?
State of Kansas, I guess. I'm trying to figure out the thought process between tying ESSER and state assessment. You have a 2-year window to show that any of these systems are going to be successful or moving the needle. And I've got to give them their due. The state of Kansas did not say to me, hey, the way to meet the building needs assessment barriers is utilizing ESSER money. But the pragmatic answer is that's the pile of money we have. Majority of districts, I would assume, are going to use ESSER in that way.
Yeah, yes, and or buy stuff. But if we don't get the extension, we will be turning money back over. Which is just sick as far as I'm concerned. I was with the new Deputy Commissioner of Education a week ago at Southwest Plains, asked this very question, didn't really get an answer. So then I asked, well, okay, if there is no extension, or at least an effort to get that extension, could there be efforts to make the scrutiny at the state level less severe? So we can, get the money going. Yeah, we'll have to look at that too, was the answer. So, once again, I'm with the government, trust me.
So the money that goes back, what are they going to do with it?
Turf.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
With the green light, we could probably spend some money pretty quick.
Yeah, if we got the green light. And it really is, it's kabuki theater. I have to hold my tongue just right and write the sentences in just the right way and then argue with them about it and then ultimately get it.
That's what happened with the SRO, but I don't know if I whined to you guys about this enough, but I will right now. When getting the SRO, after they found out, they said to me, oh, that's illegal use of your money, because I finally got smart and said, well, this will help our principals free up their time to work on learning loss, and because everything's about learning loss. They said, oh, okay. So then the follow-up question was, what is your process to hire this person? And I said, that's not a proper question. I mean, so I literally wrote this. We will create the position, period. We will advertise the position, period. We will gather applicants, period. We'll interview those applicants, period. We will hire someone, period. That is our process. Why they chose to ask that question, I mean, it's just nonsensical again. So I would like to think that we're working together, us and the KSDE, as we move down this pike.
But there has been no teeth, no consequences put into what happens if you don't show progress towards the 100% goal?
As far as that law goes, no.
Yeah.
No. It'll just be, I think what's going to happen is the people who put this together, because it's supposed to literally be, the board has taken this into consideration, and then as we set the budget. I think there will be several districts who are not talking about this tonight. Those wait till September to present the information and then adopt the budget. Well, that's not pragmatic. That didn't make sense. And so there will be I'm sure, a legislative post-audit on this for our processes. Right. And then there's no answer. Well, the state of Kansas, once again, because they had to answer the federal government on getting people to a certain level, they said it would take 8 years to get 75% of our students to level 3 and 4. So that's the KSDE turned in. And of course, they didn't just turn that in by picking grapes. They actually used McCrell or the RAL or one of the regional data groups to try to set a real number. And so the Kansas State Department of Education goal to the federal government is 8 years to get 75% of our kids to this level, whereas we're playing the game of 100% of our kids, and we get to define the time. 1 year, infinity plus 1. I'm turning into 8 to 10 years. But I have no doubts, Ryan, there will be a legislative post-audit wrapped up in this over the next couple of years.
And we had a 7-ounce Salisbury steak instead of a 6, Bureaucracy.
But I will tell you, I mean, we take it very seriously. We take our education of our students very serious without this. Sans this, we take it very seriously. But we will try mightily to achieve the goal. We're not going to just bury our head in the sand and say it can't be done and forget it. Not going to happen. We're going to try. Put forth our absolute best effort and celebrate the successes.
All right. Any other questions for Dr. Myers on this? Okay, we'll move to USD Pandemic Learning Plan.
Speaking of bureaucracy, if we do want to utilize the ESSER 3 monies, it is a requirement that every 6 months, each district board approves of the district's pandemic learning plan. We did this in March, which sets us up to do it now or September. I thought might as well get rid of it, take care of it now. What you have before you is last year's plan that got approved in March. We're updating the date. I recommend you approve the USD 363 pandemic learning plan.
So moved.
Second it.
This is Ryan and Casey, correct? Was it Jill? Okay. Ryan and Jill. Been moved and seconded to approve the pandemic learning plan, the USD 363 pandemic learning plan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. KASB policy recommendations.
This is the second read of, twice a year, the KASB puts out recommendations to update board policies. Vast majority of this is just streamlining the language, but I will highlight, and this is our second read, so last month you guys did a first read and accepted it. Tonight, if you take action on it, which I'll be recommending, it becomes codified in our policy book. But I will mention a couple, 3 or 4 of these. You have a sheet that has a laundry list of all the different changes, recommended adaptations. DB, budget planning, that's a big deal. That's the whole thing about putting in our policy that we're following all this work we're doing with the building needs assessment and setting the policy, the budget. DC, annual option budget, operating budget, also deals with the same thing, okay? Go down to the next bold item, substitute teachers, provides more freedoms on who may substitute teach. I will tell you, though, that they, because last year they put in that rule that allowed people, if they graduated from high school, passed a background check, the district says, hey, we want that person, and then provides mentoring, that individual is able to come in at the age of 18 or 17, if they graduated high school at 18 and 17, and serve as a full-blown sub. This year, all that's still in place, but they've added, the individual has to take some modules through Greenbush. And we were all prepared, we've got it all set up, Robin's on top of it. The individual person, principals might want to listen to this in case you have somebody. They register through Greenbush for Greenbush Plus. That gives them access to the modules. And then they, after having completed like 6 modules, you get a certificate. And so it's more than what was there last year. But anyway, this policy adjustment by KASB allows us to hire these people in as subs. The privacy one, advanced notice and access to surveys of students, basically says when we go to do a survey of students, like the Kansas Communities of Care, the families have to know about it not more than 4 months in advance. So we can't put the word out today and then do it in March. It has to be within a 4-month window. So let's say we're doing it in March, we got to tell them, well, what would that be? February, January, December, November. No earlier than November. Okay. It's an opt-in. Now it's an opt-in situation. We put it out to the parents, and so if Matt says no, or just forgets to do it, then his daughter won't take the Kansas Communities of Care. And then also, little piece there that's kind of interesting, even after Matt opts in, his daughter can say, I'm not doing that. And so anyway, the policy lines that up with it. So textbook challenges just specifies the file of if someone takes exception to art books, let's say. It gives us a process, clarifies the process to challenge items or materials. Performance-based provides freedoms toward credits for, think, work-based, getting involved with 4-H. I mean, we can then build a way to get credits in other ways. I'm all in favor of that. I mean, that's a good piece of work. So anyway, I do recommend you accept the proposed KASB recommended policy adjustments and additions.
So moved.
Second.
Ryan Shrivogel and Curtis. Moved and seconded to accept the proposed KASB recommended policy adjustments and additions. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, new business, student meal prices.
Last month, we had the information that we needed to set the prices for adults and a variety of other pieces within the meal world, but now we have the information to set prices for student meals. In order to, even though we're running a good ship, I think it's prudent to increase the meals prices for the full pay students, not for the people who are on reduced or on free, by a dime each. So for breakfast for the pre-K-5 students, it'd go from $1.75 to $1.85. Lunch would go from $2.70 to $2.80. At the middle school, high school, breakfast goes from $1.80 to $1.90. Lunch $3.05 to $3.15. Originally, when I put this out, I also had snack prices for you. We've thus, since that time, switched gears on that, got it approved through the State Department. We're doing no price option for snacks at the elementary, at the preschools. So I recommend the board accept the presented 2022-2023 student meal prices.
So moved.
Ryan Ruda,
Second it.
Jill. Moved and seconded to accept the presented 2022-2023 student meal prices. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. All right, how long do we need, Dr. Myers?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. So let's go into executive session at, let's say, 8:20 for 20 minutes. And we'll have Dr. Myers and
Principals as I need them.
and principals as needed. Okay?
Second.
Casey and Jill. Moved and seconded to go into executive session at 8:20 for 20 minutes to include Dr. Myers and principals as needed. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Yeah, 20s,
20s don't cover it.
inflation.
I need gas money, I need G.
I need donuts. All right, we are back in session. Where did my thing go? There we go. Okay, I need a motion to hire Celeste Estes as a full-time district para at Holcomb Elementary.
So moved.
Ryan Ruda and Ryan Schreiber moved and seconded to hire Celeste. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I need a motion to hire Deborah McVeigh as a full-time district para at Holcomb Elementary School.
So move.
Curtis? Ryan Schreiber moved and seconded to hire Deborah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I need a motion to hire Alex McCormick as a student advocate at Holcomb High School.
So moved.
Second.
Jill and Curtis. Moved and seconded to hire Alex. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to hire Melinda Zimmerman as a full-time cook.
So moved.
Casey?
Jill.
And, okay, that was Jill? I'll look next time.
Casey's done.
And Casey, there we go. Yeah, moved and seconded to hire Melinda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I need a motion to hire Emma Quintana Torres as a full-time custodian.
Second.
Ryan Stravogel and Curtis. Moved and seconded to hire Emma. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I need a motion to accept the resignation of Hannah Roth as K-Club sponsor at the high school.
So moved.
Second.
Curtis and Jill. Moved and seconded to accept Hannah's resignation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I need a motion to accept the resignation of Naomi Talavera as a bus driver.
So moved.
Jill,
Second.
Curtis. Moved and seconded to accept the resignation of Naomi. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I need a motion to offer continuing contracts to all classified staff so we can retain all current classified staff members.
So moved.
Jill? Ryan Schreibogel. Moved and seconded to retain all our current classified staff. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I need a motion to accept the supplementals as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Ryan Ruda and Jill. Moved and seconded to approve supplementals as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I was going to be finished, but then I remembered Dr. Ruda wanted some more information about KISA, so I was going to.
Let's waste another 20 minutes.
That's all, Mr. President.
There's another 20 minutes, I'll never do that. I need a motion to adjourn.
I don't mean waste, I mean.
Jill,
Hey, he bullied me. You know what I wrote in that last one about?
Jill and
the
Sean.
results were in, and rave reviews?
Moved and seconded to
He sent me a text.
adjourn. All those in
He
favor say aye.
demands a retraction.
Opposed?
Sometimes the wrong words come out of my mouth. The most enjoyable. Yeah, I'm not sure that brought in any.